Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mangs, and I welcome you guys to the start of a brand new Civilization 5 playthrough. This time around, we're going to be playing as Nebuchadnezzar of the Babylonian Empire. So, I decided that I wanted to do a Let's Play where I really focus on science. I want to show you guys exactly how to max out your potential science output. And of course, there are two civilizations that are really good at this. The first one is Korea, and the second one is, of course, Babylon. They're both really science-oriented civs. For that reason alone, they're considered two of the best civilizations in the game, because science is, of course, as you may know, the lifeblood of civilization. You cannot neglect science. You can neglect pretty much everything else, but if you neglect science, you're going to lose. You know, higher science output than your enemy means that you get access to the juicier stuff earlier. It means that your units are going to be stronger. It pretty much just boosts your civilization in every possible way. And the higher up you go on difficulty, the more, you know, insane you have to be in the science department. You have to rush out those universities, those research labs and public schools. If you don't do that, you're gonna lose, as I did in some of my Let's Plays, simply because I neglected science too much. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about Babylon, shall we, and what exactly makes them so good. Their civilization bonus is called Ingenuity. They receive a free scientist when they discover writing, which is absolutely insane. And they also earn great scientists 50% faster. Now, why is this so insane? This pretty much gives them a free academy. Noobs may choose to pop the scientist to get some free early tax, but this is absolutely ridiculous. You should never do this. You want to build a academy, and Babylon can get their first academy so much earlier than anyone else, which essentially gives them 8 extra science in the early game. And this is absolutely insane, because 8 flat science... you know, you're not supposed to have that much science in the early game. It means that Babylon will nearly always be the tech leader in the early game, even on higher difficulties. So yeah, they have a unique unit called the bowman. The bowman is sometimes a little bit overlooked, because it's basically just an archer with 2 extra ranged and melee strength. However, what's so amazing about this is that in the early game, what you quickly want to rush up to is composite bowmen, because composite bowmen are amazing both on the offense and the defense. If you are in danger of being attacked by a nearby civilization, you need composite bowmen to hold them off, because archers just don't have the strength. The composite bowman has the same melee strength as the bowman has the same melee strength as the composite bowman at 7, and it only has 2 less range strength, which means that you don't really need to upgrade your bowman up to composite bowman that early, whereas it's detrimental for other civs to do so, which leaves you with a little bit of extra gold to use on other things, such as buildings. Maybe you can buy a worker. Essentially, you can use the bowman for quite some time, and you don't really need to upgrade them until you get crossbowmen, because, you know, upgrading them to composite bowmen simply will only give them 2 extra range strength, which is really lackluster. And they cost the same as normal archers, and they are just really good. You can get a few of these out early. You can rush an enemy with them. That is really powerful, by the way. If you have a super close neighbor, spam a lot of bowmen and simply early game rush. You can actually take cities with them if you have some warrior support, because they really are that strong. So yeah. They also have a unique building called the Walls of Babylon. This building can be situational, but it can be really good if you're under a lot of pressure early on. So, in addition to giving twice as much hit points as the regular walls, which only give 50, the Walls of Babylon also give your city plus 6 ranged combat strength, which means your city will hit a lot harder. This is, of course, useful against barbarians, or if you happen to have like a super aggressive neighbor such as Shaka or Napoleon, you can build the Walls of Babylon in your contested cities, garrison them with bowmen, and that city is almost impossible to take. This means that playing as Babylon, you can forward settle a little bit more aggressively than you otherwise could with other civilizations. You can take that juicy city right next to Paris, for example. Sometimes it would be considered suicide to do that, but with Babylon you might just pull it off. So let us jump into the game. Now, I've done something I usually don't do. I've restarted the game a couple of times until I found a suitable starting location. Because I decided if I want to play a game where I rush for science, I at least want a mountain next to my capital, so I can get an observatory. And I restarted the game a couple of times until I stumbled across this starting location, which is actually one of the best starting locations I've ever seen. Now, I have to move my settler I won't be able to settle my city on day 3, which is a little bit of a minor setback, but once you guys see this location, I'm pretty sure you'll agree that it was a pretty solid thing to do. So I'm going to be moving over here. So where my settler is now is where I'm going to be expanding. I'll have access to 5 silver, as well as 3 sources of sheep and banana. I'll also have a river, as well as a mountain, which means that I'll be able to get the water mill, as well as an observatory. Now, there is marble here, so I could actually potentially have settled a city on top of the silver here if I really wanted to. However, I've decided that I can settle a second city a little bit further south, which will be just as good. So, I'm lucky enough to start next to a mountain range, which means that I can settle several cities next to mountains. The ideal goal is to get all 4 of my cities next to mountains. I'm going to go the tradition opener, and I'm going to settle 4 cities. Well, I'm going to settle 3 cities. I'm going to have 4 cities total, because that is the magic number with tradition. Now, science gets penalized for every city you have. 5%, actually. For every city you settle, each of your technologies will cost 5% more. This means that you don't necessarily want to expand too much, because you want to get that magic number of 4 cities, which means you get a 20% penalty. You don't want it to go higher than that. The extra signs you would get from your 5th city isn't going to overcome the 5 extra penalty costs, in my opinion. As you can see here, I already have a pretty kick-ass second expansion near the ocean. I will have access to fish. If I settle on the forest tile right here, I'll still get the marble, the silver, and I'll get 2 sources of fish there. I got a lot of good things going for me, and once I continue east, you'll see a 3rd location, which is going to be even better. Of course, it might feel like I'm cheating a little bit, you know, picking my starting location like this, but occasionally it's just really fun to get a good start in Civ. You know, I have no idea what kind of AIs are in this game. It might be that my neighbor is Shaka and I'm going to get totally demolished, so you never know. But I thought it would be fun for once to have a Let's Play where I focus intensely on science and just try to get as technological advanced as I could possibly get. Alright, I really want my shrine up very early, so I'm gonna start working on the monuments, but I'm gonna wait. And I'm gonna, once I get pottery, I'm gonna go for a shrine immediately, because if you notice all the silver that's next to my capital, it's quite obvious that I want to be getting my hands on the Pantheon, which increases culture and faith from silver tiles. Also, getting a mint in Babylon, which will increase the gold yield of the silver tiles by 2, is also going to be insane for my economy in the late game. Here's a natural wonder, and this is where I'm going to settle my 3rd city. If I can somehow get Petra in this city, that would be absolutely insane. But we're playing on Immortal, so that is probably not going to be the case unless I can rush out a great engineer. So we'll see. So I'm going to switch over to a shrine now to try and get my Pantheon out as quickly as possible. We'll see if there's any religious spammers in this game. Alright, so I want to go for writing as quickly as humanly possible. I'm not going to rush for the Great Library. You can't get that reliably on Immortal, not unless you rush out a worker and chop forests. Another thing that's also something to be said for the starting location is that it contains a lot of jungle. Jungle is of course really good when you get universities, which means the jungle tiles are going to be worth 2 science. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Fuck you, Dido! Okay, so if you're new to my Civilization series, this is my new arch nemesis. Dido has not only beaten me once, but twice in my previous Let's Plays. The first one was when I played as the Zulus. She completely wrecked me in the late game using stealth bombers. The second time when I was playing the Mayans and tried to go for a tourism victory, she won by attack race. I don't know what it is with Dido. I don't consider Carthage a very powerful civ. But in every single game she's been in, she's absolutely demolished everyone in her path. Someone chose Goddess of Protection. Interesting. Yeah, as I said, I don't really know what it is with Carthage, but they just seem to dominate. Could be just sheer luck, but I don't know. So here you can see my 3rd city location is going to be constructed next to the Grand Mesa. We'll have fish, we'll have wheats, we'll have sheep. Grand Mesa, of course, isn't the best wonder you could possibly get, but it is treated as a mountain, which means that you can build observatories next to your city, and that for me is pretty good. Now, of course, if I can somehow get my hands on a great engineer and rush out Petra, this will be the best freaking city in the entire world, but we can't really bank on that. Petra is a wonder that is grabbed pretty quickly. especially if there's a AI with desert tiles. But it will be a pretty good city nevertheless. We met Antwerp. So yeah, it seems like Dido is going to be our first neighbor. Dido is not a super aggressive civ. Or Carthage is not a super aggressive civ. They can get pretty aggressive once they get their African forest elephants, which are knight replacements that are pretty strong and also lowers the strength. At least I think that's how they work. I'm actually going to check because I'm a little bit unsure. African forest elephant is a replacement for the horsemen, actually. They have more combat strength, but they're slower, I think. Yeah, they have 3 movements. And they also... fared elephants. Yeah, the same promotion as the Maui warriors. They debuff nearby enemies with 10%, which is pretty good. Alright, we got some spearmen. Now, once I get writing, I'm probably not going to rush a library right away. The end game goal is to get a lot of science, but that doesn't necessarily mean I have to build a library super early. My god. So I think the problem with Dido is that Carthage usually spawns nearby the ocean. They have a ocean or a coastal city start bias, which means that nearly in every single cases you'll have them next to the ocean, which means that they usually have whales. Whales and really any sea-based luxury resource are really powerful because the sea is just really good in general. I could have had a coastal city if I set a little bit closer to the west, but I don't really want to do that. Alright, another pantheon has been founded. As long as they don't steal my gold and silver pantheon, I'm completely fine. Alright, got animal husbandry for ruin. That is always pretty darn good. I'm gonna go for a monument now. It's gonna take me how long to get a pantheon? 20 faith? Yeah. I might have to rush for Stonehenge. I should have probably gone for calendar a lot quicker if I wanted to do that. Anyway, the reason why I wanted to... I really want a religion. I might even consider going piety just to get the Reformation belief. The Reformation belief is pretty strong because it only requires 4 policies. You don't need theocracy or mandate of heaven. And that could grab me Jesuit education, which would allow me to faith buy universities, public schools, and research labs. Which of course requires a lot of science. Here's also a really good city location, by the way. It's not next to a mountain, but if I do find a mountain somewhere nearby here, like, look at this, silk. And boom, I have myself a scientist. Now, I could go and expand on... Yeah, I think that's a good idea, actually. I'm gonna build my manufactory on the horses. That will yield me, get me the horses. So I think that's actually a pretty good thing to do. Of course, as Babylon, you do want to get archery quickly, so you could get an early game bowman out. I also think I'm going to steal this worker. Because it's almost too good not to do. Especially when it's like right in front of you, like there. I'm glad that Dido didn't decide to protect that city-states. She probably would have eventually. Alright, I'm probably going to scout out to make sure there's no... There are barbarians, of course, but I'm gonna escort them. Alright, so this will give me horses. I don't really see any other good locations for this. I don't want to remove jungle unless I have to. So now, we want to lock this tile, naturally, to make sure we're always working it. And if you look at our science gain now, it's pretty darn kick-ass. 14 science. This means that if we really want to, we can actually try and rush the Hanging Gardens. And I think I might want to go for that. So I think I'm going to go up to mathematics. Of course, I will need mining first, simply to get the silver. Alright. I'm going to escort my workers with my scouts just to make sure they don't get captured. And I might buy myself an early bowman. You know, just to protect myself against barbarians as I improve these tiles. And here we have Zanzibar and probably what's the end of the map. Yeah, it looks like I'm very far down south. I seem to be in a corner, which is always a good position to be in. And we got some ruins. Really want those. Alright, so I probably want to expand soon. Might go for a granary. That will finish 1 turn after my city grows to 4. And then I think I'm going to build a settler and go grab one of these locations. Might try to grab the one near the Grand Mesa. I could get a coastal city. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll get 2 fish tiles, silver, wheat, and sheep. 1, 2, 3. That's almost too good not to get. Not gonna get the marble, but that's fine. Alright, so we're gonna go for the tradition opener, and the tradition tree in general is always the best way to go, even though they nerfed it slightly by putting legalism down in tier 2. It is still one of the best things to go for. Because every single policy in the tradition tree is good. Whereas in many of the other social policy trees, you got a lot of bad policies you need to take, filler policies. Piety is full of filler policies, like for example, well, I guess you could say organized religion is sort of a filler one. Religious tolerance is definitely a filler one, since it's so unreliable. Mandate of Heaven can be good. Theocracy is decent at best. So this is why the piety opener is considered to be pretty weak compared to the tradition one. Stupid archers, get away. Now, of course, one of the big problems by getting an early academy is that you're very prone to getting pillaged. This is one of the biggest weaknesses with plonking it down. All it requires is 1 wrong barbarian in the wrong place, and you got yourself a pretty bad time. So, but we can go and we can connect. Did we already finish mining? Yeah, we did. God, our science output is pretty amazing. I'm gonna go and heal up my scouts before I continue, and I'm gonna try to grab that ruin. I think I have to go through this encampment if I want to go north. Oops. That's my... Sorry about that. I had a plate on my table. Had a little bit of dinner earlier, and I was too lazy to eat it up in my living room, so I ate it in front of my computer. Alright, more barbarians. I don't want those to come and pillage our shit. So the bowman is going to cost 200. We can't really afford that yet. I might consider selling embassies to Daida. Okay, so she's already settled our 2nd city. She's probably going to grab most of the cities around here, but that's fine because I have no intention of expanding towards her anyway. I want to expand near the mountain range because it seems relatively uncontested. I could try to force my way through this encampment, get some experience on my spearmen. I think I want to move over here just in case. Alright, so now I want oligarchy, so I can get legalism and of course the good tenants. Well, I guess legalism is sort of a filler policy right now because normally it would grant you a free monuments. If you hadn't built it already, it doesn't do that anymore, which is kind of sad. Yeah, we want to get some experience on our scouts. Ow. Ouch. That really hurt. I hope they won't kill our scouts now. Well, we got a promotion out of that, so it's not all bad. Alright, let's grab scouting. And now we have scouting 1 on our scouts, which is always a nice thing to get. If you get both scouting promotions on your scout, you can explore a ridiculous amount with them, which is always nice. But I need to heal them up a little bit first before I do anything else. Let's grab drill, I suppose. Yeah, the encampment. There's a lot of rough terrain around here. I am playing with World Age at 3 billion, which means that there's a lot more forest, hills, and mountains in general. But yeah, I might actually try to go for the Hanging Gardens. I'm gonna get my next policy, and I might actually go for aristocracy, which actually wouldn't be terrible. I would have to do that at the cost of not expanding, though, because the Hanging Gardens is quite expensive. But again, a large city also will mean a larger science output in the late game. So I actually think that's going to be quite good. 25 faith is required for my Pantheon. That could be a problem. Alright, I could go for a 2nd silver. I might also... I'm going to leave the bananas for now, because removing the jungle tile to get the plantation is not going to do me anything. It's not going to do me any good in the early game. The plantation is worth 1 food. And of course... Oh, nice! There's fish here. If I can get a fishing boat up here, I could work this tile. Oh crap. Yeah, it's a new barbarian. And the Great Library sniped on turn 38. That was ridiculously early. Holy crap. But yeah, what was I saying? I actually can't remember. Anyway, let's keep exploring. Right, so we will get mathematics in 4 turns. Might as well just go for a bowman. If I switch the city to production focus, I'm gonna get it down in 4 turns. So that's nice. So that means I can have a bowman while I go for hanging gardens. And of course, going for hanging gardens with a lot of mines is always a nice thing to do. There's no forest for me to chop, sadly. And I will be postponing the growth of my city. But if I could get it, that'd be pretty kick-ass. I don't think anyone is going to be able to beat me to hanging gardens. Because my science output is so ridiculous right now. I actually think I might be the tech leader. Never mind, I'm number 7. Yeah, the AI start with free tax on Immortal, which is probably why I'm so far behind. But usually they don't go for mathematics really early. Anyway, I'm gonna go for aristocracy now, which means I'll produce the hanging gardens a little bit quicker. And with this bowman, I might try and go and snipe this these ruins. That might actually be really good. Also, I'm not sure how good Dido's economy is, but maybe she wants to buy silver? Let's see. I was gonna check Dido. She does have 2 gold per turn, which is not fantastic. Alright, hanging gardens in 25 turns. That's pretty good for me. And now it's in... okay, so... I understand you want to work this tile. I really do, but... I'd rather want to lock the production tiles, to be quite honest. Alright, so now we got that. We probably want, for our next tech, would be nice to get masonry, actually. Or, actually, I kind of want to reveal iron on the map. Yeah. Hopefully we can get the hanging gardens. It will be a lot quicker once we get our 3rd mine. Of course, our city isn't growing at all now, but that's fine. I think I might even go for a settler once I've completed on. But 6 food is pretty insane in the early game. Let's see if I'll get it or not. It's always a gamble to rush wonders. We'll see if we can do anything useful with it or not. I just hope no barbarians will come from the south now, because I am sending my archers away. I might actually buy a 2nd bowman once I reach 300 gold. 200, I mean. Alright, 6 turns to complete a mine. Prague. That's a cultured city-state. Oh, now we can finally go north. And this might actually be a good expansion right here. Next to a mountain, coastal, fish. This could very well be our 4th city. Because I've decided I want this to be my 2nd city. I want this to be my 3rd city. And this looks like a potential 4th city to me. Oh yeah, definitely. And we can get a pantheon. And let's see if we can get the one with from gold. Yes! Religious idol. +1 culture and +1 faith for each gold and silver. That's a no-brainer in this situation right here. Because what's so amazing about this is that you get it immediately. You don't have to actually improve the tile. Which means that I'm not getting 4 faith per turn. Which means I might get myself a religion. Maybe. Ooh, natural wonder. Too far away though, for it to be any useful to me, but still. My god, 5 silver tiles. That is absolutely insane. I have to go for a mint ASAP in this city. That will... It will make me literally shit gold. It's absolutely insane. Alright, with any help from the spearman, I might actually be able to take those encampments. Hell, I might be able to get some experience on these scouts and get myself my scouting 2 promotion. Alright, let's go for... what do we want right now? Probably... No, we don't need to rush construction, actually, because, well, we have the bowmen. Trapping is probably going to be important tech, and then probably calendar. Alright. As you can see, the bowmen are pretty strong. It's basically like having 3 composite bowmen in the early game, which is ridiculous. So, very good units. Even though they don't really carry over any promotions, they are still one of the better unique units, in my opinion. Alright, let's go and... let's keep getting some experience on the scouts. Hell, we might even get a city-state quest. That would be pretty kick-ass. But yeah, this is definitely a very good location for my next city. On the plains tile directly south of my scouts. I'll get fish. I won't get the deer, but I'll get 2 sources of sheep. It's not like the best city in the world, but it is definitely not bad. Of course, I would love to get the silk. If I expanded like... Actually, a better location will probably be this forest tile that I'm hovering over right now. Because that would get me silk, deer, sheep. Yeah, actually, that'd be much better. For sure. Alright, let's heal up the scouts a little bit. Do damage to the hand axes. 14 turns until we get Hanging Gardens. May get it, may not get it. We'll see. So Dido is the only one we've currently met so far. Now she actually wants to buy silver, but I want 7 gold, not 6. So... I am not quite interested in that. Ooh, she might actually grab the ruins if she moves smartly. That would be very annoying if she does that. She probably will, because she can walk around essentially now and just snatch them from right under my nose. Asshole. Would actually be really sweet to kill Dido. Carthage is a fucking sweet city. Look at all those whales and fish. Probably even more to the north. Ah, yeah, she's gonna grab it. Fuck me. Dido. Alright, I'm gonna get myself more bowmen. Alright, so now we have a 4th mine. I'm gonna go work on a 5th mine immediately. So, how's your gold income coming along? Still only 6 gold per turn. We're gonna earn a lot of money from the silver. A lot. That's a lot of warriors, by the way. Could she potentially be thinking of attacking me early game with the warriors? And she's gonna take my encampment too. What a fucking bitch. Dido. Jesus Christ. Yeah, she's gonna take my encampments and my ruins. Well, Dido's being a fucking scumbag. Would be kick-ass if Prague wanted me to clear this encampment for them. Would be really kick-ass indeed. Alright, so can we get the Hanging Gardens? Can we get the Hanging Gardens? Would sure be nice to get the Hanging Gardens. Nice, we got scouting too, guys. So that's great. That means that we can scout more effectively without necessarily putting our scouts at risk, because we will be able to see the barbarians miles away. Of course, I'm a little bit afraid to do this because there might be barbarians nearby, but hey, Ramses! Ouch, that's actually terrible because, do I want embassies with this guy? Ramses is a big wonder spammer. He loves his wonders. He's also fairly aggressive. I don't think he's close enough to do me any harm, but problem with Ramses is that he may very well snipe the Hanging Gardens away from me because, well, Egypt receives a pretty large boost when building wonders. They also love to go tradition, which means that they also combine this with the aristocracy policy. And they're pretty much impossible to beat when it comes to wonder race. Any wonder that Egypt wants to get, they will get before you. It's really that simple. Alright, let's grab legalism. Won't really give us anything, but we need it. So yeah, Ramses is a problematic dude to have. Probably gonna have to go philosophy, but... Normally, you'd think that you want to rush Masonry to get Walls of Babylon, but right now I'm not in a position where I want Walls of Babylon. Might want it later, but right now it's not really that useful. What I could do is I could rush... Like, the thing is, I need a great engineer if I want Petra in this city. I'll need a great engineer, but I also need currency. But I will get currency. I will. I might actually rush for civil service. Nah, I'll be foregoing too many important texts if I do that. I need horseback riding, I need construction, and I need engineering. And I need metal casting. And of course at some point I want to rush for education, naturally. Does he actually have the gold? Nope. I want 7 gold. Until they have 7 gold for me, I'm not going to trade. So I want to get that last bit of gold out of it. And I also want to... It's not so much about me getting my gold, but I also want them to lose gold. I don't want to give them free luxuries when I know they could be paying more for them. So you may know 7 gold is usually what you get for these luxuries. Alright. It's probably time to move across this hill tile now. See what we can get. Alright. Probably move this spearman back to Babylon now. Alright. Behold! Scouting 2! Alright, here we can rest. My god. Thebes is already pop 6. I don't see any wonders being built around this capital. You can see most of the wonders, actually, if you look closely. You can see if he's building Stonehenge. You can see if he's building Machu Picchu. I'm not sure if you can see anyone building Hanging Gardens. But we'll see. 5 more turns. We might get it. It's going to be very interesting to see. Dido might get some silly ideas, considering her troop movements. She has a lot of warriors, but she's gonna have a very bad time if she tries to attack Babylon with warriors, considering my bowmen are here. Babylon is pretty much impossible to take in the early game. You might as well just not do it. Looks like she's moving towards the city-states. Maybe she has some city-state quests she wants to get? I don't know. Also, it looks like we actually had a quest to clear the barbarian encampment out because we're friends with Prague. We're getting 3 culture per turn, which is not too shabby. It's going to speed up the acquisition of our policies by quite a lot, and we do need a lot of policies. The plan is, of course, to max out the rationalism tree as early as humanly possible. Oh, Statue of Zeus. I hate it when that sound appears. Okay. Someone has founded Hinduism. Could be that Gandhi's in the game. I sure hope not. I'm starting to get tired of that troll-faced fucker. Alright, 7 turns until we get a mine. Alright. There's probably some barbarian encampments here that we can clear out at some points. Getting some experience on our bowmen is always going to be pretty valuable. But it looks like we have this mountain range mostly to ourselves. If this is, as you can see, there's tundra here, so we're most likely furthest down south, unless there's some civilization down here. I don't really need to rush out settlers to get these. Yeah, I don't think there's any more civilizations. I think we are as far south as we can get. Alright, 1 more turn, guys. Will we get the Hanging Gardens? I'm waiting for the sound. That fucking sound. It's the most annoying sound in the world. Carthage, will she get the Hanging Garden? Nope, we got the Hanging Gardens. You know that because when it says processing turn for city-states, every single AI has made its move, so... We got the Hanging Gardens, ladies and gentlemen. We're off to a very good start. Off to a very good start. This means Babylon will grow like a fucking... Yeah, it's gonna grow. I almost said like a boner, but yeah, it will grow like a freaking boner at this stage because... Well, the Hanging Gardens is amazing. Not to mention, it gives you free gardens, which also speeds up your acquisition of great scientists. Also gives you culture. Sadly, it doesn't give you any great person points, but it would be overpowered if it did that. I mean, anyone remember Hanging Gardens from the Vanilla Civ, which gave 10 food? That was pretty insane. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make a cut here, and when we return, we should probably start to settle a little bit, expand, and then the quest for science will begin. Alright. Do please consider leaving a like and a comment if you enjoyed this Let's Play and you want to see more Civilization. It does really help out a lot. And as always, my name is Mangs, and I'll see you guys next time.